have to mute this.
I don't
Good
have the stream
evening,
open
ladies and
usually.
gentlemen, boys and girls. We're here for another lovely night of Revolution eSports season play between some teams here. We have two Division 1 teams that are going head to head tonight. I don't want to give away too much information because I have my lovely individuals here that are always so gracious to cast for us. So. Without further ado, our casters tonight are going to be Mr. Fuku Mass, or Fuku Cast, as you may see in the in Discord. If you want to say hello to everybody, good sir.
Yes, howdy howdy. I'm the color caster for Freaks and Beeks versus Ramen Renegades.
Indeed.
So
And then we have Thoth God, if I'm pronouncing that right. I think I just call him Thoth.
You did it!
That's
I'm
what he
so
said.
proud of you, dude.
I know, right? Woo! He's going to be your play-by-play guy tonight, so everybody say hello on stream and say hello to your fans and let everybody know what's going on tonight with teams.
Hello, everybody. All right. Today, our game is going to be between Freaks and Beaks and Ramen Renegades. I mean, we have a little bit of information on both of these teams, but I feel like we should start off with the obvious statement that Freaks and Beaks very favored in this matchup. 500 SR increase. They have not lost a match yet. They've only dropped one map. They're looking definitely like the favorites against Ramen.
Yeah, but you know what they say about the underdog? The underdog, they always come through whenever they are pushed into a corner. And Ramen Renegades, they are near the bottom of the listing, so I feel like Ramen Renegades, they have a chance to pull this out, and I am really excited to see it.
Yeah, Ramen Renegades, led by their leader Ramen as well, which is great name combo as well. You can tell who made the team and who runs the team. But again, like we say like underdogs like that, but Ramen Renegades hasn't won a match yet. They've got about a 33% map win rate, so I don't know. It's gonna be tough. But it looks like we're gonna get right into it immediately. Not too much pre-game chat this time. And we're gonna be on to Lijiang Tower for our control map. And it's gonna be Night Market. I mean, 2-2-2 lock, it's not in this tournament, but teams have been playing as though it is. Do you think we're going to be seeing those 2-2-2 heroes still?
Probably. Like, most games do tend to have 2-2-2, at least at the moment, just in preparation for it. Now, the last game I casted, which was yesterday, there was a team, Power Naps, that did run goats on this specific map. But, you know, yeah, that's more of a specific thing, so I feel like we will be seeing a lot more 2-2-2, just especially throughout this entire series.
Yes, and with Lijiang Tower, I'm expecting to see a lot of Mei and a lot of Farah, so these projectile heroes, Placebo and Udon, gonna have a lot put on them. Gonna have to pull out and gonna have to perform. I'm really excited to see the compositions, because as we know, with a 2-2-2 lock in the near future, teams are kind of just figuring out the comps, and a lot of teams are just sort of playing what they're comfortable on, the heroes they feel comfortable on. So we'll be seeing a lot of players playing what they're good at. We'll see which team is just a little bit better. As we see right now, Faith seems to be coming out on the Symmetra. Symmetra Mei composition. Very interesting. They're going to teleport right up to point. Going to go to the top window. And they're going to drop right onto point. What a beautiful rotation coming through. I mean, look at this. All right, they're going to get a kill on Foe. Foe's going to go down, and that's going to be their trigger to push in. Without that orb, they can't really kill anything. They're getting melted down. Beak with 2. Brian is going to get killed trying to contest the point. Faith's going to take him down. That's going to be a quick take for Freaks and Beaks, and that Symmetra wall is already almost up.
Yeah, just like a really good start coming in from Freaks and Beaks. You know, using that whole using that Orisa hook combo just to immediately get the kill onto Foe with the Zenyatta, and just pretty much secure that fight before it even started. And Faith coming in with the wall already, just kind of showing that, you know, some turrets they do a lot of damage and get so fast. So
yeah, Very true. As Carpe is going to get halted, going to get walled, going to get hooked. We see some transitions coming on. Udon now on the Pharah, Soman over to the McCree. And we've got Mafun switching over to the Orisa. Not going to be able to do very much so far, only sitting at 12% ult. They're still trying to figure out which way they want to engage this point. With Maywalls and turrets all over the place, it can be very difficult. But I think with that Pharah taking an off angle, they can maybe deal with the turrets at least. Not really much anti-air except for Senin on the side of Freaks and Beeks. It's a huge nade comes through. What do you think about this composition coming out from Freaks and Beeks? Do you think it's a little bit of a style, or do you think this is a practice composition?
You don't really see Orisa, Symmetra kind of comps whenever they're not practiced, because like Symmetra is just one of those heroes that you really just need to coordinate and practice a lot. So I feel like it's probably like something that they picked.
Yeah, your mic's cutting out a little bit, just going to let you know, but Faith is going to be able to clean up from that freeze ult put out by Placebo. That Blizzard's going to be doing a lot of damage. The Roadhog ult and the Beat trying to sustain, push people away. I don't know that they're going to get a recontest here. Udon's going to fall to a nice right click, which means that's no barrage. Gufo going to get the res, however, but now you've got a wall to deal with. You've got a lot to deal with, and they're down too, but they're going to return. No Roadhog, no Lucio, apparently no problem. Placebo hits another right click onto Udon. Udon just getting hit by these anti-air Sombra, May and Symmetra plays. The turret's coming in, gonna kill foe. They're gonna get the Roadhog, and Ramen dies to a nade. That's an 100-0 coming out on Night Market. A little bit of stall here coming out from Mafun, but I mean, it's not gonna do much. And that's gonna be our first point, going in the way of Freaks and Beeks.
Yeah, that was such a dominant play. Like, that was just such a dominant play coming out from Freaks and Beeks with the Symmetra May combo. Like, Ramen Renegades, they just didn't know what to play against that. You know, they tried to kind of mirror using Orisa Hawk, but, you know, they just couldn't go on to point with the May constantly walling them off and with the Symmetra turrets just shredding them if they went in and didn't kill them in time. So, really, it was an interesting comp, to say the least. I haven't seen it that much, especially not with Orisa Hawk. Usually you'd see something, you know, far more aggressive, like Ryan Zarya with it.
Yeah, I wonder if we will see it when we get to Control Center. That is, if we get to Control Center. We're on Gardens first, and based on that first performance, it looks like Freaks and Beeks are going to want to finish it right here. We see both teams going to be going for the Pharah, a staple, but different tank compositions. We've got a McCree to counter the Sombra of Placebo, which that's going to be a bit of an advantage, but when we look at the tank lineups, we see supports may be the same, but Orisa Hog versus a dive from Winston Diva. Which do you favor here for the tank lineups? As, of course, 3-4 kills come through.
I would definitely say Freaks and Beeks in all honesty. And, oh, wow.
That was an aggressive barrage, sending a message to the spawn room of Ramen Renegades.
Yeah, but like I was saying, Freaks and Beeks, I much prefer their comp in this situation purely because they could just be so much more aggressive, you know, make a lot more space for the Pharah in order to pop off versus Ramen Renegade's Orisa comp. You know, Orisa, she wants to play slow. She wants to kind of, you know, play slow and get a pick. But you can't really do that whenever everyone's either constantly moving away from your halt or just pushing you out before you can go in.
Yeah, so you can see Freaks and Beeks, definitely, they're playing to that aggressive nature with the Sombra, with the Pharah, using those aggressive tanks. Whereas on the other side, you've got the Pharah and the McCree, but we're doing much more of a slow, methodical push. I don't think they can do it. I mean, Faith has Barrage again, the damage boost. I mean, he's building it so quickly that it's almost going to be up like every single fight, and you can't have to try and deal with this slow push from a Barrage every single fight. It's just not going to work. Nano Barrage nonetheless going to come through. You're going to pick up two. That's going to probably be this. As we see, Carpe, Soman are going to die. Plunder Powder, she's just trying to finish up some people and not die. Faith's going to get onto Udon. Plunder Power going to be able to lock people into the corner. Faith with 4 in this fight. Potentially 5 if you can kill foe here, but no, Plunder's going to take that other final blow. This Pharah is ripping them apart.
Yeah, they don't know what to do. Like, they are playing a very slow, methodical kind of comp, but you can't do that whenever Pharah's just constantly spamming at you and you have tanks on your front line or in their back line even. And with Sombra slowly building towards that EMP, like, this next fight is looking very heavily in Freaks for Beeks, especially since they have that EMP, and even Barrage again.
He's got. I mean, it's such a meaty composition. It's so easy to fall apart. I mean, let's just discuss the fact that until this fight, no ults except Barrage used twice and Nano Boost have been used to hold this point. And I mean, it looks like they're going to be able to hold. I mean, Udon gets a boop onto Senin, but it's not enough. That was probably the most dominant point I have seen on Lijiang Tower in this entire tournament. Well, I've seen 100-0 before, but never like that. As, I mean, Freaks and Beaks are going to show us why they're the favorite in this matchup.
Yeah, like, Ramen Renegades, like, it's really sad because, like, they just constantly got out-comped, in my personal opinion. Like, first point was a bit odd, you know, like, the Symmetra Mei combo, it may seem weird whenever you look at it, but it's actually a very decent comp, all things considered. Because, you know, if you trap somebody in there with the turrets and you just made wall them off, you know, that's just a free kill no matter what, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I'm kind of unfortunate we didn't get to see the Mei sim anymore, but I think Ramen is very happy that they didn't have to see that. That would have been a tough one nonetheless to get through. But, I mean, what do you think Ramen needs to do to really turn this series around? It looked like their compositions were scuffed. Their rotations seemed to be, like, too slow. They didn't have a counter to Pharah. I mean, if you don't feel confident countering every single hero that the other team could pull out to some extent, I mean, what if they just run Pharah no matter what the map is? I mean, can Ramen even deal with that?
Now, really, it just depends on, like, what their comp is running and what the enemy is running. Now, if they play a very, like, Pharah-based comp, you know, just something to keep the Pharah alive, like Zarya, off the top of my head, I don't know, on a Nano Boost, Mercy, just a lot of things to keep that Pharah alive, then it's very difficult for you to break that. And really, the only way you can break that is either to team wipe with ultimates, or to just kill the Pharah and then not let the Mercy res, which is easier said than done most of the time. So, really, the only solution I see is either, you know, just having a really good sniper player or just relying off ults. And that's if they run Pharah every time.
Yeah, Soman, the hit scan on the side of Ramen Renegades, he might have to pull out a Widowmaker here. I mean, are they going to be taking defense first? We're going to be going to Rialto, a very good sniper map. Yesterday, you and Mifuku saw a double full hold on this map, so I'd love to see what Streets looks like, if I can. Please, sir? But, yeah. I'm excited to see if they're going to be able to deal with the Pharah, because Pharah can be played at the beginning because of all these buildings.
Oh yeah, Pharah is without a doubt, like, very powerful, especially first point defense. Like, run her in a bunker, comp with Mercy, and, you know, you could just have, like, this, all the chances for environmentals, there's so much damage that you can just spam out and they can't physically do anything. And even if they got, like, a sniper and punished your over-aggressiveness, there's a lot of cover that Mercy could just simply res you. So, this is, like, a great pharmacy map, and I'm hoping to actually see the pharmacy and see what, you know, the attacking side would do about it.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. Wait, is my mic muted?
No.
Okay, good. I get it backwards every time. Sometimes I just talk to myself. It's weird. But either way, other than my personal problems, we see defense. It's gonna be a Mei. There's the Widows coming out from Faith, actually. Placebo. I think it's Placebo. It's not Placebo. It's Placebo. That makes much more sense. He's going to be onto the Mei, and we're going to be running, again, an Orisa Hog composition. But, Soman, looks like he also wants to be playing the Widow here. And it looks like another Orisa Roadhog comp. Yes, there's the double sniper compositions coming out. We'll have to see who can get the better of this Widow duel, as the compositions look almost mirrored, except for a Baptiste coming out from Foe. How do you feel about the Baptiste in this composition?
I honestly don't. Now, the Baptiste, in my personal opinion, can be really good, but not really on attack Rialto. It can be good maybe around this first corner, but other than that, it kind of drops off whenever you start getting to the more open area. Because look, you could look like that; they could just destroy the immunity.
Yeah, I mean was it Immune Field? Definitely used a little bit too early there, and it's gonna get killed. He's gonna be able to get it back because of how slow these fights are going. Carpe, he's gonna get walled, he's gonna get hooked, he's gonna get frozen. He's not gonna die, however. He manages to get out, and there it is again. More immunity. Not gonna be able to die there, but already Baptiste going to be able to build up that window, give them a little bit more damage. I mean, one concern I have is we're seeing these snipers, they're shooting from the same angle and they're not able to get anything done. And the defense going to be able to get 2 kills. A return kill onto Beek, but there is a res from corner there. If he can fit, yep, he gets the res. And Attack's going to have to back up now, and they didn't even really get a pick.
Yeah, big stack coming out from Faith as well. Like, honestly, like if they didn't have that mercy on Freaks and Beaks, they might have actually won the next fight purely because of how slow Orisa comes out and, you know, respawn advantage. And, like, spawn is literally just right there, so... And, you know, and Infosight's coming out from Faith, so...
Yeah, it's looking a little bit tough. This double sniper, they're both firing, but Soman only at 56%. That means he's not hitting his shots. Definitely something that's going to have to be fixed soon if they're going to be using this as their new play. He's going to have a battle with Faith. Faith over on the right. He's not going to take that battle, however, but a Mei ult and a Roadhog ult combo going to take out Mafun and Foe. But a return. It's an environmental onto Placebo. Very important. Environmentals can't be rezzed. Soman gets hit by a Widow Mine. Now he's seen. He can't take that corner peek anymore. And even though they're down a player, theirs will come back faster. I guess the real question now is, can they win the 6v5 before the Mei comes back?
Yeah, we're gonna find out very soon, especially with them using a very early dragon, and it'll seem to get nothing, but it will force a reposition.
Beek, he rotated a little bit too early, got the back end of that dragon, and Carpe got a nice kill on him. However, Carpe tries to deny the res, and actually he's the one who dies, and the res gets off. Now they're down 2. Soman dead again. Was able to build that infra site there, but just gonna die. I mean, it's... These snipers are not working. I have not seen very many, if any, kills from Udon or Soman this entire time. And I mean, we're talking about 1 minute left. And I know that Faith has a mercy pocket, but I mean, you have Ramen right there. Ramen can do work. We see the difference. One team pocketing their Widow, the other team trying to keep their tanks up. But I don't know. I think I favor the defense here pretty hard.
Yeah, I completely agree, in all honesty. Like, they really should switch off this sniper comp because it's just not working for them. In my opinion, they should switch to a dive or something. Just something that, like, they can go in aggressive on. That way they don't have to worry about the Widow as much, you know? Or they can even just dive the Widowmaker.
Yeah, I love that rotation coming out from the offense. They just kind of... They put their... I mean, from the defense, sorry. Freaks and Beaks, they saw that window go down, and they just said, let's just back up around corner, and Baptiste ult used for nothing more than space, but it seems that they're actually going to be able to hit their shots. Faith's going to return on to Soman. Going to get Udon as well. Now there's no DPS. Someone's going to have to contest, but who's going to contest? It's going to be Carpe, apparently, as Foe's going to go out there and deny the Resurrect. Now you have no Widow on the recontest. You're going to have to take a 5v5 if you even want to take this. They're going to Valk. They're going to Mail. They're going in. A freeze comes through. It's going to get both of the supports. Beek going to be the one to clean up on those kills. He's going to get 3 in this one. Mafun is the only one here. Udon's going to be able to kill Beek, however, end that kill streak. Faith gets 1 onto Soman. Again, he's got the high ground. There's nothing there to contest him. He's going to get the Hanzo as well of Udon. Now it's just Mafun all by himself. Faith cleans up with 3, and that's going to be another full hold. Looks like our dreams will not come true, Fuku.
How unfortunate. I really enjoy second player also too, but, you know, like, the main reason why Ramen Renegades didn't get to push it all the way was purely because of the ult advantage he had. In order just to push it that far, they had to use a total of 3 of the ults. Mercio, Orisa, Bongo, and, who else was it? Baptiste. Baptiste, damage. They used 3 high damage ultimates, like, immediately, one after each other, just to win that one fight. And, you know, they just came back with Mayo and just kind of shredded. They had a massive ult advantage. And then whenever they got rid of the biggest threats, which were, you know, the snipers, you know, the Faith was just able to go up top and just basically free shoot.
Yeah, it did not look like it was turning out well. I mean, this is one of those maps where it's like, it's hard for attackers to really get that effectiveness out. I mean, we've been seeing some pretty unfortunate attacks coming out. A lot of it being stalled around this first corner, and then they finally win one fight, and it's not enough. It can't get them all the way around. I don't know if this map is that heavily defenders or if it's just the bunker compositions, this Orisa Roadhog pick comp meta that we seem to be transitioning into with this 2-2-2 lock coming through, where the defense just kind of they have that advantage because it's harder for teams on offense, especially when we're talking about teams like under Masters ranked, such as Ramen Renegades, who are sitting at about a mid-diamond team. I mean, it's hard for them to really consistently rotate cleanly and effectively on that Orisa Roadhog comp. We're looking at the defense and the offense. We're going to be seeing mirror compositions, except again, Foe is going to be on that Baptiste. Now, you said you liked it more in the defense here, so we'll see if this is finally favored for them or if it's going to be another game down in the drain. They really, really want this one here.
Yeah, I definitely much prefer the Baptiste on this defensive side. Just a lot more corners they can play around. And not to mention, with that Maywall kind of just creating a lot of space for, like, because you were just creating a lot of space for the Maywall and along with Udon, like, you know, this is going to be very interesting.
Yeah, look at Faith up here. They know he's here. He's going to back him into Venomite. Not exactly where he is, but you can see he's trying to take that high ground. He's trying to be aggressive. He's going to go for a grapple shot. Not going to be able to get anything with that as the fight continues. Another halt hooks coming through from Carpe and Mayfoon. They're doing really well, but Soman dies. A res is going to come through, but that means there's no res for Udon, and Soman gets headshot by Faith again. Foe to return the kill back onto Faith, but they're down two. It's still, or down one rather. It's still a 6v5. Faith is going to be rezzed. Carpe back onto Beek, however, because the healing wasn't there. Faith with another kill onto Ramen, and that's a clean attack. I mean, 2 minutes, 45 seconds, one fight territory, late kill onto Mafun and Carpe. That's the way you can test the point. I mean, Soman, he got Faith. He got Faith. There is no way, I believe, for the Mercy to get up there in order to res. So this is going to be a 6v5. Soman's going to get placebo as well, and that means that they might actually have a way of winning this fight. There's no DPS here, and there's no res potential. A nice halt hook back onto Plunder Power. Definitely an improvement I've been seeing on this event so far in these halt hook executions, and it looks like they're going to be able to hold the defense. Soman going to get the better of Faith again. Really starting to show his stripes a little bit more here. I mean, he was a little weak on the attack, but defense, 3 headshots, I'll take it.
Yeah, like, honestly, originally I thought Ramen Renegade was actually going to win that fight because of ult advantage, which, you know, didn't quite happen. Someone just kind of said, nah, we don't need ults, and just kind of won the fight straight up. So, you know, it just goes like that sometimes. But let's see if Faith can, like, you know, kind of clutch it back and pop off like he's been doing.
Definitely, as we see another engagement coming in. That wall, I'm not going to be able to do anything except the one on the defending side going to be able to get Plunder powered all the way out. He is going to get res. No, the res was denied by a nice halt. So, no res means now you're fighting a 6v5. Your res is still down, even if you don't get the res off. Soman onto Faith again. That's 3 in a row now. Faith might have to swipe off this Widow. I mean, he's been playing pretty well so far this series on the Sniper, but Soman's just outclassing him now.
Yeah, Showman really starting to, like, show his colors, and, you know, like, I find it very interesting because Soman has mostly been doing this without the Mercy Pocket. You know, the Mercy really just kind of going all over the place, healing everyone, versus Faith, who usually has the Mercy Pocket, so...
Yeah, a headshot is a headshot no matter how it lands, no matter how much damage boost you have. But the defense, unfortunately, not going to be able to come back from that one. They're going to be losing too. Connor going to go down to Soman. However, of course it's going to be Soman. Now it's a 4v5 in favor of the offense. They're pushing through. Bongos on both sides used. Valkyrie used. But Plunder Powder is going to come in. He's going to finish off the Orisa. He's going to finish off the Mercy. He's going to get the May, and that's going to be the point. And that is going to be a win going into Freaks and Beaks. Now 2-0 in this series. And Ramen Renegades haven't gotten a point yet.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. And, you know, honestly, in my opinion, the main reason why they lost that was purely because of the Baptiste. And I know I said I like Baptiste on defense here, but the fact of the matter is they just didn't have the survivability that, you know, that Freaks and Beaks did have with the Renegade. And, you know, Renegade, they could either answer the enemy team. Oh, my.
That's a click. That's what we call clicking heads. It looked like he was on the left shoulder there, but a nice quick flick, faster than the eye can see. I mean, clearly Soman tried to bring that back for his team. It's not going to be enough, and now they're going to go down 2-0. That means they cannot lose another map. Otherwise, they lose the series.
I have seen reverse sweeps before happen like this, where the underdog brings it back. I believe it happened with our boys, Hallie. You know?
Hallie's actually been so far, like, they've been weird. They've been playing like sort of like a mix between the Houston and the Houston Outlaws from stage 1 being able to kill all the big guys, beating Banshee, another undefeated team. Well, they were undefeated. They beat Banshee, and they also made a reverse sweep, sort of like Boston of Season 2. I mean, they're pulling out a lot of these, but the interesting thing about it is when they play the middle tier teams, they really start to like struggle, and they kind of get rolled. They lost 4-0 in their first series. So, I mean, it's interesting to see how they play, but reverse sweeps can happen, and I do believe that Ramen Renegades, they can perform. They can execute this. Soman's getting shots now. He's warmed up. I really need to see Udon doing a little bit more, though, because I'm not seeing the follow-up. I'm not seeing the eliminations, and whether that's team play or whatever, I mean, it seems like a struggle.
Yeah, most definitely. Like, honestly, I feel almost as if, like, you know, Udon, like, he's just getting outclassed by the enemy projectile player most of the time, and, you know, like, he's getting those walls on Mei and whatnot, but he's just not popping off like the enemy Mei is, you know? He's not getting the massive team-wide freezes out, securing team fights. He's not, like, contesting point for pretty much ever until his team can come back. He's not performing as well as he could be, and I know he can perform better. I've seen him play before.
Yeah, Placebo getting the better of him, but Placebo's actually going to get subbed out. Pavel Datsyuk is actually going to be coming in for Placebo for this map. I mean, we see a sub. Placebo's been playing pretty well, we'd say, throughout this series. So I'm interested in this swap. We'll have to see why they choose to go for Pavel here. They got a trick maybe up their sleeve. Maybe he's a Torb one trick. I don't know. Going for the defensive plays. But another thing that I've also noticed is that Mafoon and Carpe, they are dying a lot. Early a lot. Especially Carpe. And they did a little better on Rialto defense, but still, like, if you look at a lot of the fights they lose them because they don't have a front line. They don't have that meat. And when you're running that Orisa Roadhog composition, especially in a mirror composition, it's so important because that's the only way you can test the point. Like, who are you going to have contest the point? The Widowmaker? I mean, we meme about it that the Widow and the Hanzo never get on point, but the fact is, if your Widow and Hanzo have to contest point, you've probably already lost the fight.
Yeah, exactly. If a sniper has to get off of the high ground in order to go to a point and contest it, then, you know, that's either a very dire situation or you pretty much already lost the fight and you're just contesting for some time.
Yeah, like time burn off reset. We see Pavel's coming in. Pavel's going to be playing the Hanzo. So this seems to be what Pavel was put in for, to run this Hanzo, at least for now, because we haven't seen much Hanzo. I don't think we've seen any Hanzo actually come out from the side of Freaks and Beaks. But they're going to be running a bunker composition. The Mei, no surprise. Quad DPS and attack.
Like, a lot of teams are really liking this Mei. You know, Mei's like a very popular hero now. Like, she's just a good hero overall. You know, just so much you can do with her.
Most played in pro scrims is Mei on the DPS role. I mean, we saw earlier today Shadowburn pulling out that Mei and playing it to near perfection. I mean, absolutely obliteration. But Senin getting a nice right click onto Udon, and with Soman dying early, Soman is actually on the hamster. Very interesting. We see Mafoon, their main tank, on Genji. This is a scuffed comp if I've ever seen it before. I mean, you don't usually see your DPS player on Ball and your main tank on Genji. It looks like they're going to be swapping off of it, probably over to a double sniper composition. Triple sniper composition. With a Sombra. I have never seen this, and this is not a 2-2-2 composition. This is just straight up new.
I mean, this is a very, very odd comp to say the least. I mean, it's a triple DPS comp, but at the same time, oh wait, no, they switched. Okay,
now it's triple
I think they're switching out, maybe.
Carpe over to the Roadhog again. I've been very critical of the main tank play coming out from Ramen Renegade so far. I feel like they're too far forward. They're standing where they're not able to a lot of the time, but they're going to be running it again. Now they're switching to a 2-2-2 composition. It's always nice, you know, to give your the other team, you know, a minute and a half of just kind of free time burned to build nano boost. I mean, it's a nice gesture, but it's not going to get them this point. They need to figure out what they want to do, and if Pavel's just going to kill everybody, then it's not looking very good for them. I mean, the Mei hasn't even come into play yet. They haven't even been able to push the choke, and half of their time is up. I mean, they can't even get to the point where they can push through the choke to try and bait the wall. How are they ever going to attack this point?
Yeah, at this point, it's looking really, really dominating coming from the side of Freaks and Beaks. You know, just kind of showing that there's a reason why they are like, you know, undefeated at the moment. You know.
Ooh, I don't know what that EMP was. It was an EMP Senin and Pavel. The intent was to kill Senin, give his team a pick, but Bongo is going to actually be enough to clean up this one as the fight is over, and 5 ultimates on the side of the defense. Dragon and Nano on the side of offense. I mean, Ramen just looking like they used their Sombra ult. They switched over to Pharah, but they couldn't even kill the Zenyatta after EMPing them. I mean, we're talking like some really, really difficult things going on for both of these teams. Definitely some miscommunications, and you can see the indecision coming out, especially compositionally from the attackers. Mafoon, he's gonna die. There was a flank Hanzo in Mega. I don't think he's gonna be dealt with. He is gonna be dealt with. Carpe's gonna get him, but Senin kills Foe again. The anti-air Zen kills Carpe as well. But Plunder's gonna be traded back. So now it's a 4v2. Seems like it favors the defense, but the offense is gonna get together quicker. Interesting.
Yeah, but Renegades, they have the respawn times. They might still be able to win this if they regroup fast enough. But really, like, this is still very, very, very scary considering how many ults are on the side of Beeks and Beeks. This is why.
That's right, everybody. A Maywall was actually used in this map. I know it seems crazy. You don't usually see people actually need to use the Maywall in Hanamura, right? Soman is going to go down. The attackers are now down, I believe, too, so they're gonna get a little bit run over here. But using ultimates. It's last fight. Never mind. I was gonna say using ultimates spastically, but it doesn't even really matter. Foe, he's gonna be discorded. He's gonna die to Beak this time, but he was discorded, so Senin's still participating in that kill. And now we were relying on Udon, who's not gonna be able to get to the point. I mean, do they even know what they want to run?
I mean, honestly, it felt like, especially on Hanamura, they felt kind of confused. They realized how badly the 4 DPS comp wasn't working out for them, so they tried to switch to Bunker, but there was some clear miscommunication because they had 4 DPS still for a good while, almost as if they were kind of debating on who should switch to the Roadhog or if they should even stay the DPS comp. Like, you know, just some indecisions coming out from Ramen Renegades.
I think all they needed to do was they needed to pick a comp. I mean, it was a Mei, Hanzo, the Pharah was a fine pick, maybe a Mercy with your Pharah, and you can run just about anything into that if you want. I mean, Ball, if you don't have a confident Ball player in your Mafoon, because we saw Soman on it, I mean, maybe you can, but you had Foe on Pharah at the end there. I mean, I just don't even know what they want. They don't know what they want. I mean, it's looking real bad for them. I mean, they've lost the series, unfortunately. The best they can get here, if they full hold, is a draw because they were not able to get 1 tick or more on the first point. So they're playing currently for a draw. And even if they draw and win the next map, they're going to lose the series 2-1. So series will be going in the way of Freaks and Beaks, but I don't think they're going to be too happy with a 2-1. I think they're going to try and get the 4-0. So we see a very hard bunker comp coming out on defense.
Yeah, Freaks and Beaks have only lost 1 map, so I'm sure they want to keep that score as high as they can. So let's see what Freaks and Beaks Cybers do, you know? Like, are they going to be able to keep the high score? Maybe Ramen Renegades would be able to take a little bit.
Yeah, apparently Pavel is just the Shibata bro on the team. He just plays Genji and Hanzo. Invulnerability Maker's going to come out. They're going to try and burn. They're going to get Soman. There is a res from Ramen. Save the Bastion. Now they pop the Invon, however. Now they don't have it. So that means they're going to have to do all of this work. They are going to be able to pressure back, however. I feel like I'm watching like some tower defense, man. Like, look at these two compositions. They both just trying to keep the Bastion alive. I mean, they have the Diva for defense matrix against the Reinhardt for the extra shield. Someone's down again. I don't think they're going to be able to build res fast enough. Time is just going to kill them, and ooh, Faith is going to have that ultimate ability. This is looking tough. Oh, he did get the res. Last second on the zone, and now we have Beak kind of out in the open all by himself. They thought they could rotate freely, but with the res now, Beak is going to go down. A Blade already coming out from Pavel. He's going to get the Bastion again. Soman dies 3 times here. Surprisingly for this bunker composition, the only thing keeping them is everything except for the Bastion, who's now died 3 times in 1 minute. Oof.
being able to somehow get away with that res as well.
Beak with the double boop. There's no tanks. And then the mail from Udon gonna be eaten by Plunder Powered. Oh, that's a way to style on him. And that's gonna be the map. That's the series already. And even with this low stall, this is looking possibly like one of the most one-sided series that we've ever cast, Fuku.
Okay, let me just say this about Freaks and Beaks attacking versus Ramen Renegade's defending, and they both have very similar comps, but the biggest difference was most definitely their tank decisions, and like what they would, and just like how they were playing with the Bastion. Bastion was just, he was almost never moving. He just kind of stood still, which caused him to die online. Immunity, it dies eventually. And Bastion just shreds through berries, so it doesn't even matter like how many berries you have, because eventually you're gonna run out of berries. And Udon just getting picked off multiple times, ultimately winning the fight just because it almost felt like they never had a Bastion to help them out.
Yeah, I think it was Soman on the Bastion.
Oh, was it Soman?
I think it was Soman.
It was somebody, but point is, like, the Bastion on Ramen Renegades, like, he needed to move a lot more, reposition. They waited for the shields to, they need to wait for the shields to recharge instead of just, like, sitting there, kind of shooting.
Yeah, I mean, when we see Bunker run, usually there's two places you take. There's the high ground up, if you're looking from attackers on the left side next to the Mega, so you can play your Baptiste in the pocket there to kind of heal without giving away his side. And then there's the rotate around to take the high ground stairs right above point, with your Orisa just kind of stepping in and out of the point. Where they were playing is just not somewhere that you normally see played. It's just kind of a really weird low ground direct spam the choke comp, and they weren't managing resources very well. I mean, he died instantly. Then there was res. Invulnerability Matrix was used for res, which might have been unnecessary. And now they didn't have it for the Bastion, so they had to use shields to keep the Bastion alive until he applied enough pressure. And then when they came back on the attacking side, Freaks and Beaks, the Bastions just burned through again, and they didn't have invulnerability. They barely got res in time, and it didn't even end up mattering. I mean, Bunker looks like an easy comp to run. You just sit on the Bastion's face and it never dies, but resource management in those mirrors really does show, and you can see Freaks and Beaks having not only, in my opinion, a better comp with that Diva rather than the Reinhardt to eat damage, but a better understanding of how to manage their resources in those duels.
Yeah. Well, you see, the big difference between Freaks and Beaks and Ramen Renegades is most definitely the rotations and uses of them, because Ramen Renegades, I don't see that many rotations coming out from them, especially not even on defense, just not really changing the position whenever the Bastion dies, not really changing position whatsoever whenever anyone dies. While Freaks and Beaks, they're constantly switching positions, whether it be because, they ended up making a mistake that would have lost them the fight, or they just lost a person early. Like, just rotations are a massive thing in this game, and if you're just not using them, then the enemy team that is using them will win.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like we've seen a lot of issues on the sides of Ramen Renegades, and even though they are going up against a pretty difficult opponent in Freaks and Beaks, undefeated, very high SR, reaching towards the top, if not the top of Division 1, it's difficult for us to really like Ramen Renegades. It was very unlikely for them to win this, and you can see why, but I did think it would be like a little bit more of a fight. This has been very one-sided, and it's kind of hard to watch, but I mean, these are experiences that Ramen Renegades, you can watch this VOD and you can learn so much from this. You can really see your issues, and that's like the advantage of losing. That's why teams in the Overwatch League, when they lose and they lose and they lose, if their coaching staff is good, eventually they start to stop the bleeding, because you have to lose to know why you're losing. You have to figure out where the errors are by having a team exploit them. And we can see here, resource management and compositionally what they're running, as well as tank aggression, in my opinion. All of these three errors are really holding them back, and if they can put their tanks in safer positions, not so aggressive, if they can not just run weird compositions and not be effective on them, most importantly, and really if they can just, as a team, manage resources, understand their win condition, and really spread out as thinly as possible their resources, I think they could honestly have put up a much better fight. But we'll have to see that in the future as we go into King's Row.
Kings Row, everyone's absolute favorite map, to be completely honest. Like, nobody dislikes Kings Row. It's such a fun map. And from the side of Ramen Renegade, it seems that we're going to be seeing around
What is up with your
the
microphone,
bat.
man?
Seems am I cutting off a lot?
Yeah.
You're getting digital. It's like your internet's
Luckily, I speak
crapping out.
Fuku. So, Placebo is maybe specking the wrong team, getting some insider advantage. But we're going to have a quick pause here. Fuku's going to fix his mic. And also, we're going to make sure that we have spec fixed. But we're looking at this, and I am seeing a Baptiste Goats coming out from the attack, and I am seeing a double sniper Ryan Zarya comp being played from the defense. So, I'm kind of sad to see Goats, not gonna lie. I've been having a lot of fun with these 2-2-2 compositions, but it's King's Row. There's not much that you're gonna be able to do about it. It's just sort of how it goes.
Yeah, I feel like they just want to end this fast, use Goats, go right into them, just end the fight fast, Get some practice with Goats, even though Goats is going to be ending in, a month or so?
It's not even for practice. I think they just want to run it because they want to show that they're good at more than just DPS compositions. They're pushing in, again, that double sniper composition on the defense with the Ana, with the Baptiste. Invulnerability Matrix, that's extremely early. I mean, no one was even below half HP there, and now you don't have it to save Carpe, and now look, your tanks are dead. This is what I mean when I say the resource management just seems really, really poor. I mean, Udon returns 1 unto Faith, but it doesn't matter. Like, it's such a quick run over. I mean, look, they didn't even get to build really any ultimate abilities, and they're just going to use their window, I believe, either accidentally or to hold aggressively. Oh no, he's swapping onto Doomfist. A very quick take, but looks like they're going to be switching on to this composition now. Not going to be choosing to run that BAP or that Brigitte, so, well, they have the Ana now. Yeah, they're going to be running Hackfist. Hackfist, a very fun composition for me to watch and for all of you to watch as well. Not so much for me and Fuku to try and explain what's going on. Do you want to actually explain how this composition works? Because it's a little bit wanky.
Oh yeah, Hackfist, it's such a chaotic comp, in honesty. It's all about, just Sombra Doomfist constantly going in, and it's almost as if Doomfist creates the space for everyone else to pop off in a weird way. Well, no, Sombra, not Doomfist. Sombra creates just so much space for hacks, hacking the main tank or hacking a support. Doomfist goes in, gets the kill, and then they just both get out with their abilities. It's a really chaotic comp to watch and a really chaotic one to cast as well.
Yeah, Beek gonna get 2 with the Fire Strike, and one thing I definitely want to say is just what I love about this composition. It's very simple. I see a Doomfist when I'm playing Ana on my main account as a dragon from Udon gets eaten. I see a Doomfist, I nano a Doomfist. And this is a composition where it sees a Doomfist and it nanos a Doomfist. It also combos Graviton, but they don't have that. Usually it will run a Zarya instead of a Diva. And with that Zarya, that Graviton comes through, and you can combo that with Doomfist as well. It was considered an anti-Goats composition, and we can see a change on to Goats coming out from the side of Ramen Renegades. I don't know, Chief. I don't know about this swap.
They actually seem kind of confused on what they are running, with Udon switching to the mid to the Pharah now, even. So, really, this is kind of confusing me because, they're running Pharah Goats with Baptiste against Hackfist.
I know, right? I mean, really, Pharah's as good as long as you can keep her in the air, and guess what? A Sombra hack will put him down, but Udon's actually going to make sure that Faith can't hack him by landing a nice rocket onto him. Going to lose their Ryan in Mafu due to a punchy-wunchy, But this is going in favor of the defenders. 5v6. They're going to commit, however. Nano boost. Oh, he jumped! He made the boo-boo. I think he got actually Farah booped, and he jumped.
Yeah, he got Farah booped, and he got jumped, and he jumped. Like, oh man, that was such a massive play from Udon. And, you know, the diva who is, who's a diva? Powered, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, let's just clarify for anybody who doesn't know. Gap in between his shield and his hitbox. So there's a little bit of space where if you stand in between his shield and his hitbox, then actually the bomb will kill him. He won't block it, and that goes for everyone behind him as well. So make sure to always keep a couple feet away, and one way you can make sure that this happens is by jumping on it. That Farah boop onto the bomb as well as the jump made sure that the shield was actually not blocking the bomb, but rather the bomb was in between. Very big mistake coming out from the attackers, and they committed nano that fight too. They come in for this fight, and they aren't going to get anything with any of that. EMP, Doomfist ult, Shatter, nothing's going to come through for anything. And it's looking like a decent defense, but still 3.5 minutes on the time. So they've definitely got enough time on the side of Ramen Renegades.
Yeah, honestly, I feel almost as if Beeks and Beeks kind of got overconfident in themselves, and oh, never mind, there's a fight going on.
Yeah, another fight coming in. We see a grab, beat, Nano out onto the Reinhardt. Invulnerability Matrix, it's used pretty well. Gonna be able to keep Mafun alive. But Nano onto Beak now. No, shield's gonna be coming out. That's the Deadeye gonna be cleaning up. I don't know about that Farah ult from Udon. That communication was a little bit off, and now you used... Well, you used 6 ultimates. You used everything in that fight, and Foe was able to build up to 2/3 of another Matrix, but Matrix on its own is not going to win you a fight. It looks like EMP and Graviton are going to be coming up for the attackers here. Freaks and Beaks, I think they're going to probably go for this EMP early, get that Doomfist ult up, and then combo it with the Graviton. This far has been doing decently. I'm not gonna lie, it's the best Udon's looked this series at least. And an EMP comes through, it's on to land onto 6, the Shatter's gonna come through with it as well. Clean up onto Carpe, Soman, Foe, Mafun, Ramen, everybody's gonna die. Farah's the only one alive, and Udon's not gonna be able to get out of this one, and I don't even think they're gonna be able to recontest. Yeah, that's it. That's gonna be the attack, going in the ways of Freaks and Beaks. That's gonna be all 3 points.
Yeah, Freaks and Beaks just... They were really dominant, especially on the first 2 points. Now, they did stagger a little bit onto the third point purely, I think it was probably because of overconfidence, but they just got that EMP, and they just got the EMP up and pretty much just snowballed throughout the entirety of the third point at the end. So, you know, if I was Ramen Renegades, I'd be pretty scared that if I could even, like, push it that far with how this has been going this entire time. You know, like, Freaks and Beaks have just been performing insanely well, just really punishing their mistakes. So, but I am kind of curious on what Ramen Renegades will be running now on the attack.
Quad tank.
Quad tank?
Quad tank.
I
Good
think
old
you mean bad
Slamlance.
goats. I think
Yeah, exactly. If I have... The saddest thing in this entire 2-2-2 lock that's happened to me is that my quad tank is being taken from me. It's one of my favorite composition. Always loved quad tank because it was so much fun to watch a bunch of meaty dudes just slam into you, and you're just like, what's happening? There's just all these tanks, and it looks like they're throwing, but they're not. It's really fun for me, at least. But we see on the defense, we're going to be pulling out a Genji McCree comp with a Ryan Zarya. I mean, this is really the only map we're going to ever see Ryan Zarya again if the 2-2-2 stays the way that it is. Seeing a lot of Orisa Roadhog favoritism in the tank lineup, at least for 2-2-2. And we're seeing a lot of Ana as well. A lot of Ana, not so much Lucio. Ana Zen, Ana Mercy, Ana Baptiste. I mean, I love Ana, so I'm happy that Ana is like becoming much more of a staple in the meta. Before it was kind of a flick back and forth with Zen, but we're going to be seeing a Zen Goat coming out on the attack. And who do you favor in these compositions here, Fuku? Because
in honesty, Zenyatta Goats is nowhere near as good as it was before. I would say I prefer Ramen's comp here if they had an Ana purely because of how powerful Ana Goats is. Because, you know, there's no Diva really anymore. But honestly, I like the anti, so I feel like Freaks and Beaks have the better comp here just because of that alone.
Yeah, as well as the fact that Carpe and Mafun gonna die again. I mean, these tank line has just been dying. I don't know what the issue is here. I mean, Zengoats, remember, it does sacrifice support for damage, so you really do have to press W. You could see them kind of hesitate to move in, and I mean, that little bit of hesitation, that just gave them in their next fight, Deadeye, Nano. They're going to have Nano Blade coming up, and they're going to get Shatter. That's 4 ultimates now you have to worry about, and all you're going to have are your support ultimates. Sure, Beat can maybe deal with Nano Blade, Trans can deal with Nano Blade, but if they pull it out real quick here, they're not going to have anything for it. Yeah, there it goes. It's going to be a Nanoblade into the backline. He's going to be swinging. He's discorded, however. He's taking a lot of damage. He's going to get Mafun Foe. Not going to Trans to keep him down, but going to be able to get the kill, but Ramen going to die to a nade. So now, again, defense is up. 5v6, no res. So Pavel is going to have to come back on his own as Faith cleans up now onto Soman. Pavel actually going to be switching onto the Doomfist. Probably going to change onto this kind of a composition. Might be going for that, you know, Hackfist. I love Hackfist.
Yeah, it might be future planning for Hackfist just in case they do lose first point.
Wouldn't be surprised to see Fate go in. Ooh, a big shatter. Did you see that uppercut on the Reinhardt? And there's the Deadeye going to come in from the flank. Going to clean up on all of the supports. Faith with 4 final blows in that one. 5 final blows, actually. Very good play coming up from Faith. Good aim, good planning from the team. Look at that execution. This is easily one of the best examples of execution that's come out from Freaks and Beeks. I mean, you can see the uppercut into the shatter with the Deadeye, like, almost within a second of each other. Beautiful play. Beautiful trust in each other to land those abilities. Shatter, not going to get anything for the side of the attackers. Transcendence going to be thrown, but now they have nothing for the Graviton. Just trying to live the... Ooh, the Doomfist ult is going to come down, and it's going to get... Oh, Carpe is down. Soman was demeched in the Graviton, and that's a clean sweep as Pavel going to get 3. Faith going to clean up on the other 3. This is one-sided as hell.
Yeah, that's kind of been this entire match, though, you know, just really one-sided for Freaks and Beaks, kind of just showing how dominant they really are, you know?
Yeah,
punishing Ramen's mistakes.
There's really nothing to say other than they have Grav Bomb, but Connor, if he places this support ult, this Lucio Beat, this Sound Wave Barrier, I'm pretty sure is the full name. It's not, but anyway, if he does this right, then he'll be fine a little early, and Pavel is going to go down. So now there's potential. Beak is also going to die here, but Mafun is down, which means that any second now Carpe will probably fall. Foe is dead. So that's a 2v2. They have Rally to stay on point, but Soman demeched, and now they're more of a 3.5v4. They're going to be able to get Plunder, trying to stay and contest the point. Not going to be able to against that Rally and that high charge Carpe, as Baby Diva going to come in with 2 from Soman. Carpe is going to be getting him onto Faith, but Pavel, he gets 2. Now a Nano Boost onto the Reinhardt. A solo shatter to prevent the Diva remech. That's 3. Now Sennin's going to get Udon. Now they're going to turn this back around. It's a 2v2 right now. Carpe's got the damage. Beak is getting low. Sennin's keeping him up. There's no pressure on the Ana. And now you see Foe just tries to come in. A shatter. Not going to get anything. Beak going to just hold his shield and block it. Now the Doomfist is back. A nice grab. Counter grab coming out as well. Carpe's down. Soman's down. A Doomfist in onto the point for the attackers as well, but they're all going to die. That's going to be 0 points this entire series coming out for Ramen. They will not know what it's like to hear that victory noise.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate to watch a game like that, and I really hope Ramen takes a look at this game and sees the mistakes they're making and are able to improve upon this, you know? And
definitely.
Yeah. Although, great play from Faith.
Oh yeah, I mean, that combo was probably one of the coolest points in this entire thing. Seeing that uppercut come in, the shatter going, triggered before the uppercut lands. That trust that uppercut, it's going to work. And so he's just preemptively shattering, not giving them a single second to try and react. And then that Deadeye comes in just like literally a millisecond later. Such great trust. If that uppercut didn't land, the shatter gets nothing, and the McCree Deadeyes behind the entire enemy team, letting them know he's there. He doesn't have any self-sustain. That was not even a risky play. It was a play that required them to trust each other and execute. And I mean, one thing that teams really struggle with because of how competitive can feel a lot of the time, they struggle with trusting each other to do the right thing, to be able to execute on what they're calling. And that was a great example of trusting each other to execute that combo, that uppercut shatter into the Deadeye, and make an ultimate that's usually seen as zoning and maybe a punish for a Pharah that shoots herself into the air too high, turning that into a 3K, resulting in a 5K cleanup for the McCree.
Yeah, just really great coordination coming out from Freaks and Beaks. And, you know, we saw some coordinated play from Ramen with, like, the boot bomb, but honestly, that felt more like it was almost like not fully intentional. You know, you saw the play, but it's almost as if they didn't coordinate that. While from Freaks and Beaks, they clearly had that coordinated, you know? And,
yeah.
like, there's just such a difference in teamwork from both these teams. And, you know, I really want to see both these teams play in the future. And especially Ramen, I want to see them improve and get better, you know?
Definitely. I feel that 100%. I mean, that game, it was extremely one-sided. It was unfortunate to watch from Ramen, but again, like I said earlier, these are the games that you learn from, that you improve from, and that you come back stronger. Those games they've had earlier where they've been, maybe a little on and off, they have a 33% win rate now. It's going to be, now they're 4-13 in maps, so they're going to be, what's their win rate? Let me pull out a quick calculator here. 4 divided by 13. They've got a 30% win rate on maps right now. So they're doing their fair share of struggling. But they can really bring that up. They can really improve that from here. But now, we're going to be going into our interview of the game. We're going to have Beek in here. Beek, how would that feel, dude?
It's fun win. Fun win. Yeah, always have a great time playing these games.
Definitely.
A lot of great plays by everyone on the team.
Oh, I 100% agree. We were just talking about that Doomfist uppercut combo with the Shadow, the Deadeye, that level of trust that you guys really have in each other. How are you able to trust each other to land those abilities? Like your Reinhardt ulting right before the uppercut even comes through, knowing that it's going to be there.
Well, I mean, it's one of those things that we practice a lot, right? We have all these combos that we're trying to do at any given time. We're trying to get as much value out of every ult in the game, because obviously Overwatch is a game of pressing Q to win, but we want to press Q to win even harder than the other team. So something that we've kind of come up with is we're playing like a Hackfest type of comp to uppercut that poor Ryan, because he's got absolutely nothing to do. We try and wait for that projected bubble to come out, and then once I see the Ryan get popped up, we slam. And I mean, as a Ryan main, I love that because it's just a free shatter for the entire back line. But it is something to keep in mind, that he might have shatter coming back down.
Definitely, it seemed really good. Fuku, your question, my guy.
Yes, I have a question, and this is more so to help Ramen Renegades, but what was probably the biggest thing you guys exploited in order to, like, win this game from the side of Ramen Renegades? Like, what did you really kind of see in Ramen Renegades that was like, we can use that and win this game?
So let me think. I think most of the time we played some, I think, Hagarissa from the frontline perspective, and no one was like that. No one was really getting halt hooks because we were abusing corners, right? So like as soon as we would try to do a halt hook, it wouldn't work. We would immediately back up to make sure that if they try to do a halt hook, it wouldn't connect, and then we would just try and go again. And that's kind of where we're putting our trust in our DPS to take angles and kind of chip them down from different ways. That way they can't just focus on the front line. So yeah, I think the biggest thing that we exploited was just trying to flank. Like the flanks and sight lines is just the most important thing, I would say. And ult usage as well, yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. Ult usage is definitely very important in there. It seems like you guys are now 4-0 in the standings with a 15-1 map win rate, which is easily the best of any of the divisions, respective, of course, to their divisions.
Right.
You are right now the team to beat. Do you think you are going to lose a single match? I mean, you just won this one without giving up a single point to Ramen.
Did we? I didn't even realize that.
Yep, they didn't get a single point the entire game.
Oh, wow. I'm looking at the score now. You're right. I don't know. I mean, we'll find out. I mean, there's a lot of teams in this league that are good, and we've played them pretty close. Like I know, like Love Shack was a pretty close game for us. I think our first game was, I forget at this point. It's been like a month, but that was a close game. From each game, like from a game to game perspective, from like a map to map perspective. But anything can happen, honestly. And then once 2-2-2 happens, which I think is after the tournament, so disregard that. But anything can happen in this tournament, so I wouldn't put it too far past that we might lose, but that's not the goal.
Yeah, you're definitely not losing yet. I do have one more question for you. I mean, we've been seeing Halicloris Bividis performing pretty well. They're in your division as well. They took down Banshee, who used to be the top tier team. They were the top. They lost 3-1. So now with you guys being the top and them being kind of the Houston Outlaws of Season 1 here, as I referred to them, being the Giant Slayers, do you have any fear going up against them in the future?
No, I wouldn't say we have any fear facing them. I did cast that game, so I watched the entirety of it, and tremendous respect to Hallie for how they played and turning it around from the couple of games they had before. So I am looking forward to the match we have with them, I think, in a couple of weeks. So definitely should tune in. It'll be a fun bout.
Yeah, that will definitely be a great bout. I sure hope that I get to cast that one. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But anything
right amount of money
always,
you can.
We're always down to be casted as well because we love playing on stream. So
definitely an enjoyment to watch.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was a great game, and GG's to Ramen Renegade. They had a great match.
Agreed. Fuku, do you have anything else?
Not really a serious question, but what is your favorite comp? Like just in general, like whether it be 2-2-2, goats. Like, what's your
is this a personal question or a team?
Yes,
based?
personal.
Oh, I absolutely like. This might be an unpopular opinion. I fucking love goats. Excuse me. But so I'm kind of sad that it's going to be leaving, and that I've been put on a risk duty. But no matter what, I'm still enjoying the oinky oink meta that we have here. But yes, the answer to that question is I do like goats as a meta, and but recognize that sometimes things need to change. But as a team, I would say we love to play pretty much anything. So we have a couple different specialists on our team that we just like to get creative and crazy. So that's why you kind of see different looks from us every week.
Awesome. Well, it's been an enjoyment having you here for the interview. Definitely watching you play that Reinhardt, that Orisa to pretty solid effectiveness. So I want to thank you for coming in for the interview, dude.
Yeah, appreciate you guys having me, and thanks for casting. Always appreciate the fun entertainment you guys provide.
Thank you so much, man. I mean, this game was one-sided in score, pretty one-sided in watching, but again, this is where Ramen gets to learn. They get to improve, and I mean, Freak and Beeks showing their dominance, their complete and utter control of their play, understanding that they don't have to adapt to the other team if they force the other team to adapt to them. Running Pharah, running a Symmetra composition to open up this entire thing, really getting in the heads of Ramen, and eventually that led to one of the most one-sided series I've ever seen. So GG's to Freak and Beeks. But guys, that's going to be the end of this game. It was fun to cast. I'm sure me and Fuku, we love casting together at least. I mean, I had a lot of fun.
Oh no, indeed. It's a lot of fun to cast with you, my guy.
My heart is touched. I'll be in your DMs after the stream. But either way, thank you guys so much for coming out and supporting. If you haven't already, please drop a follow. Give us some of your support. If you want to support us in a greater way, like give us money, but you don't want to give us, too much money, Prime subs are a great way to help us and support our community. All of the money goes back into the community, going to casters, going into the actual prize pools, and into really improving the streams and everything. So definitely a really great way to support us as well. I'm ThothGod. You can find my Twitch at twitch.tv/ThothGod if you enjoy me. And Fuku, where can they find you?
Nowhere. I do not exist.
Fuku's a ghost.
And on Discord, yeah. If you want to talk to me, man, just send me a DM. I'm always online, so.
If you want to talk to
those
Fuku,
DMs. Yep.
Yeah, if you want to talk to Fuku, then you should probably join the Discord if you haven't already. So definitely, thank you guys so much for coming out, and we will see you guys at our next game. Awesome. Bye, everybody.
See ya.